how to sell travel better by overcoming objections. Neuromuscular theory and sales theory tells us that there's about 27 different objections that people can make when you are offering them a product or a service. When you're a travel advisor, you're offering them actually both of those because you're selling a product, but you're also offering them your service. Whether you charge a fee for your service or not, you are offering your service. So today we're going to talk about the first two of those 27 objections and how you might be able to overcome those objections. And in the following videos over the next week or two, I will 2 or 3 at a time cover all 27 objections. These are probably not every single objection someone could say to you, but they're the vast majority. And if you're putting up a sales page, it's smart of you to try to cover as many of these objections as you can. So today we're going to talk about 2 objections that come up before you even get a chance to do a presentation of your product. So before you're even getting in front of a particular potential customer or prospect, travel prospect, these 2 objections can come up. The first one is, I don't have time to read or listen to this message. And the second one is, I've heard this before. So this is before your formal presentation. So that means they maybe are catching something you've placed on social media, or maybe they're catching something you've written in an email to them. Maybe you're doing Facebook advertising, or maybe you're doing pay-per-click advertising. Maybe you have put a brochure out somewhere. However it is that you have put out there what it is you're wanting to offer, and the response that this person is thinking is, I don't have time to read or listen to this message, or they're thinking, it's no big deal, I've heard this before. So how do you overcome those before you're even working or talking one-on-one to your potential traveler? The first one is, I don't have time to read or listen to this message, and that is a fault in your titling. So whenever you are placing an ad or doing a brochure or putting something in front of the general public or a targeted audience of the public to try to get people to come toward you to one of your offers, you need to make sure that you title it and make it very enticing in such a way that the person who is scanning and looking at that information will think, well, wait a minute, this is important to me. I've got to make time to listen to this. I've got to make time to read this message. So your title, your subject title is everything. If you have a title in an ad, or if you have a title which is the subject of your email, that title has one purpose and one purpose only, and that purpose is not to sell them. That's not the purpose of your title. The purpose of your title is to entice them to open and read or watch the message. That's the only purpose your title has. So if you are finding that people aren't picking up and looking at your video or your brochure or whatever it is that you're putting out there, then you want to make sure it's your job as the travel owner, travel advisor, or travel agency owner, it's your job to make sure you couch it in such a way that they're thinking to themselves, oh wow, I need to make time to read this. You think about it for yourself. You probably get 50, 60, 70 emails a day. I get about 600 or 700 emails a day from clients and from travel suppliers who want me to look at their stuff. Think about yourself. Some of them you scan through and you delete them. You just see what they are and you delete them. You don't open them. You don't do anything. Some of them you save back to open and read at a later time when you have more time to look at that email. What is the difference between the ones you open and the ones you don't? It's the title. So it's your job to make sure that you have an unbeatable title so that people will make time. And then the second objection for today that happens before the presentation of the product or service is, I've heard this before. So this is more a function of, it could be title, but it's also a function of subtitle or presentation of whatever the product is. So let's say that you're offering something to Hawaii, and a person looks at that and say, oh my gosh, I've seen a bazillion offers to go to Hawaii come across my desk. So you have to make it stand out in your copy, you need to make it unshoppable. You need to make it so different and stand out so much that a person will say, well, I've read a lot about going over and taking a trip to Hawaii, but I've never read this before. So you might say something like, you don't want to talk about things that are common, like going to see Pearl Harbor, or, oh yes, you're going to go to a luau. People have heard that all before. So maybe you're going to throw in a kayak adventure, or maybe you're going to throw in a special restaurant that only locals know about, or maybe you're going to arrange the trip that you're proposing so that there's something that people don't normally see or get to do in Hawaii or on a particular island of Hawaii. Make your offer, your presentation really different so that it stands out. This is just like when you're shopping for a house. If I'm looking at property, I might say to Bill, well, these three are all on the same street and look the same way, except this one has a pool and a hot tub out back. That's what makes it different. That's not something I've seen or heard before. So that's what you want to do in your copy for your brochures or your ad, or on a website page, on a blog page, whatever it is where you're putting that out and hoping to troll for people who will be interested. So those are 2 of the 27 objections that travelers can have before they buy from you. And that is the 2 things before you even present your one-to-one, your product or service. I don't have time to read or listen to this message, and I've heard this before. Up to you to fix that within your presentation materials, whatever they may be. Now, in the next video that I do about sales objections, we're going to handle 3 objections, and they are all about money and price. If you want to get notifications about what I do, you need to go over to selltravelbetter.com and pick on whether you're a travel supplier or you're a travel advisor. Leave your name and email, and then when I put out new pieces of video like this, I'll be sending out a little email to you and letting you know so that you don't miss it. So if you want to get on my email list, that's how you do that. Sorry for being hoarse today. I don't even know why I am. But anyway, this is Sue Pater with Sell Travel Better. I wish you the most success with your travel industry and big sales over the coming months to make up for what we've all been through over the past year or so. Take care. Bye-bye.